Mr. Jones, you talked about the critique that you all had of America. You talked about a critique that was a basis. And you also, and not exactly in stating, but it conjures up what the goal in higher education was, or education as a whole. Based on the critique of America, you had one mindset. And based on that mindset, it does not appear that you all went to school solely to solve the problems of white America. And there was no craving to be commingled. You just wanted to take your things there. So as you look at that, what do you think the critique looks like now by in general, present time?
Oh, I think I am a member of the last generation that got a legitimate higher education. As a matter of fact, uh, I think American public education got to be bad on purpose so you wouldn't have working class kids come into college learning how to think at a higher, more critical level. Because literally all of these kids, we was kids, we was 18, 19, we thought we was grown, but but uh uh my father would have said, well, you was grown, you ain't as smart or mature as you ever gonna be, but you was grown as you ever gonna be right now. And so we were grown in that sense. And we were in a position of uh, learning about the world and history, how to think. So you're exposed to a whole range of thinking. And so, literally, the object of an undergraduate education was not vocational. It was in time in an economy that if you went to college, you go get a job. It might be in one area that you thought you wanted to work in, but there's nobody that went to college that didn't end up gainfully employed. So the notion of vocation school didn't really exist. You had to major in something, but and you thought, I want to be a high school history teacher and a basketball coach. So if you ask me, that's what. But school kind of took me into different places, exposed me to a whole bunch of stuff, and that was everybody. Now, coming from a black perspective in those times, you kind of took that liberal education in the classic Adolphus Huxley sense of the word, that essay, and you became a first order thinker with a higher intellectual perspective. But you came to college technically prepared. I mean, I would say when I got to university, there were white students with a broader education than I had had in St. Louis public schools. But they were not any technically better prepared to go to college than I was. Okay, their curriculums may have been more expansive. They were exposed to some things sooner, but I was as capable and competent coming from Beaumont High School as anybody that went to Ladue or Country Day. And I think, and that created a whole generation. So if you look at the politics of the '70s and all of that, that's really a function and a shift in the culture at the popular level and the sociological level is all a result of that generation of people, black and white, uh, who were in college at that time. After that, uh, college now has become vocational training. I mean, you can go to college, graduate, and it can be Harvard or Yale, and not have read a single book that mattered. I mean, fundamentally, you no matter how bright you may be inherently, you are functionally illiterate.